Good morning. This is Margie Hare from NatureHealth in my garden, and I want to share with you something fantastic today. I often talk about beneficial insects. Green Harvest has made it easy for us to have a meadow of beautiful flowers to attract the beneficial insects. They call their little mix Good Bug Mix. What's important, depending on the area you want to sow your good bug mix in. So in their packet, they've got various different seeds. So there's the amount of seeds. To give you an idea, what is in here is red clover, lucerne, sweet Alice, dill, caraway, coriander, buckwheat, baby's breath, Queen Anne's lace, marigolds, and cosmos. What you're going to see me do now is open cast or broadcast seeding in position. So none of these things are going to be planted in little seedling trays and then planted in position. So what I've done already, I've prepared the soil. It's been sitting for about 6 weeks. I've dug it over. I'm going to loosen it up now anyway. I'm going to give it a little water. I watered it last night, ready for the planting today. And then I'm going to cover the soil with seed raising mixture. And that allows those seeds to very quickly germinate. But there are a few little tricks involved. What I'm going to do now, I use this great Asian tool, which is amazing. It does everything. So I'm just going to slightly dig it over, because what's really important when you are planting seeds is that the soil is nice and moist. You'll see I've got my leeks still here in the back, so I'm not worrying about the leeks. And if there's a few little weeds, I might just pull those out. I don't really want them in the way, so we'll just get rid of those. So you can see there's lots of lovely compost here, straight out of the compost heap, that's ready to nourish. Once the roots go into the compost, you'll see the meadow just spring out of the ground. I'm going to use the seed mix. I'm just going to put my gloves on, because it's really important when you're working with even in your compost heap, there's all kinds of bacteria, which is very, very necessary for healthy soil, but not always necessary to have on your hands or to get under your fingernails, because you can get infections, and that's not very nice. So I always work with gloves on. Get the seed mix. You'll see it's very fine. I'm going to spread it over the whole area. So it's not thick, as you can see. So here's my little packet of those fabulous seeds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle them, broadcast them over that whole area. So if I was working in a smaller area, I might only use half the packet, but this packet is perfect for this area. And then whatever's left of your seed you put back in this packet, seal it, and put it in a glass jar and close it until you're ready to use it. It's really important, once you've opened a seed packet, it must be kept completely dry, out of the sun. Otherwise, when you go and use it, they're not going to germinate. So I'm just going to sprinkle the seeds nice and evenly over the whole area. There we go. And then I'm just going to literally just go over them like that. And then I'm going to pat them down. The next most important thing is when you have broadcast your seeds, certainly for the first 10 to 12 or 15 days, they must not dry out, because they are very tender, they're very young, and when the roots dry out, you'll lose your beautiful meadow. So, and what's important is that as you're watering, it's a very soft, gentle water. So I will give them this water at least twice. So it's early morning, I'm sowing them now, and I will give the same water to them tonight. You can see, because this was watered last night, this water is just sinking gently into that beautiful compost underneath, and these seeds are going to have a beautiful time germinating. You might wonder what this branch is sitting here. So it's very easy. This is just some pruning that I did yesterday, and they make the most beautiful little umbrella. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to stick them in here and just shade, I'm just going to shade these little seeds so they are shaded from the midday sun. Now, if you don't have access to anything that you've cut, then you can get an umbrella and put your umbrella in the midday sun, because you want the warmth, but you don't want that blistering heat. So what we do here, we just make a little canopy and shade these beautiful plants. So, how is that for a little shelter for my new little seedlings? Now, those seeds that have been planted are 6 weeks in the ground, and just look, the flowers are already coming. You've got marigolds here, you've got Queen Anne's lace, you've got clover, you've got calendula, all these beautiful flowers, and here of course is alyssum. It's the white one, I don't see any purple ones yet, and there's a lupin. So there's all sorts of beautiful flowers to attract the birds, the insects that are going to benefit your garden. So in another 6 weeks, the whole lot will be in full flower. Already the bugs are being attracted. And what we are looking for, the ladybird and their larvae, the hoverfly, the lacewing and their eggs, and the tiny little wasp. So what those creatures do, they eat all the naughties in the garden. They eat the aphids. So when our garden is in balance and we've got all the right things, there is no necessity whatsoever to use poisonous sprays. This is my passion. So I want to give you lots of tips on how to not use poison in your garden. So if you want to have a meadow in your garden, all you've got to do is go onto the Green Harvest website, www.greenharvest.com.au, and order Good Bug Mix, and you too can have a meadow just like mine. So if you like that tip on how to encourage the beneficial insects into your garden, please click the like button below. And if you are not a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe. And you might have some questions. Please ask the question. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have a fabulous day.